And welcome to part 2 of the more in-depth review of my collection. We're moving on to the second section of my bookshelf here. And so we're going to start here with Needful Things, and we've got 2 hardcovers. Now, one is a book club edition without a price tag, and the duller matte name, slightly different printing on the side. This one is the sale edition with the price. The name is actually a shiny Stephen King. It's a darker orange on the side. So that's pretty cool. Got those 2. We got the paperback edition that goes along with that. We have the reprints. And you can kind of tell this one is the matte. This one is the shiny. So this one's a smooth. This one is a raised printing. You can feel the words on your fingertips, so that's kind of cool there. Then we also have the movie tie-in edition, and it doesn't have pictures from the movie, which I kind of miss. I like the old-fashioned ones that actually have pictures from the movies, but they don't really seem to do that so much anymore. I think because they're in a rush to just get them all out on the market, so they get the books printed before they get the pictures for the movies. Then we also have this mid-2000s release. It's the dull finish. It's not the shiny one, so I'm still looking for the shiny one of that. Then I also have French 1 and 2. I am not sure if there's a third one or even a fourth one on this one. I only was able to find these 2. But they don't go together in the picture, unfortunately. But they're still kind of neat images. So we got that. Then we come up here, we've got the dark half, we've got the hardcover, and this one is a book club edition. We've got the movie tie-in, we have the mid-2000s release. This one is a dull finish. We've got this cover release. I love the 2 birds, but yet it's the pair of eyes looking back at you. Then I have 2 of these, and they are actually the same, just one's kind of, this one hasn't really been read. This one, if I ever decide to crack a copy open, read it, this would be my reading copy. Then over here we have Under the Dome. One is a book club edition, one is a for sale mass market edition. You can tell it's the difference in the printing on the side, white versus the silver, and this one is raised, whereas this one is not so much. Got the book all together, one book. That's kind of a bit bigger than a paperback in the middle there. And then book 1 and 2 that go together to make the story there at the top. Lizzie's Story, the hardcover, and the mid-size paperback. Then down here we have Cell. Now we have the hardcover, and then this is the large print edition. And I think it's funny that the large print edition is actually smaller than the regular edition. We've got the mid-range paperback and then the original paperback. And I like this one because it's got the window on the book cover that you can open it up. So that's kind of cool. Then next to that we have Revival. And Revival, I've got several copies of it in different languages. We have the regular hardcover. Then I have it in Chinese, in Polish, in Spanish, and then in English. So got those. Then at the top here we have Rose Madder. Got the original hardcover and the original paperback, first edition paperback that came up. This has got the shiny and the raised print on it as well. And then we've got the mid-size 2000s release. And then we've got Bag of Bones. There again, one is a book club edition, one is a mass market edition, medium size and paperback. And then we have Insomnia, the dual editions hardcover where the pattern intermatches. So I do kind of like that. Although I'm always keeping an eye out for a couple other editions because I think it'd be cool to be able to have like red, white, red, or maybe white, red, white. So I want at least one more edition to just kind of fill that out. And then we have the smaller paperback, then the first edition re-release paperback, and then the mid-2000s one. This one I believe is a not shiny one. And then that's it for that shelf. And then we'll just come up here and do shelf number 3 and just do it all at once. So over here we have Firestarter. We have the UK edition, and then we have a book club edition and first mass market edition. We've got 3 of them where it's the same image. This white one here is like kind of beat up and been drawn on and isn't in great condition. But the second one here is perfectly, never been even opened, perfect spine, nice, never going to crack that one open. And then the black one is the same image, just in black. So I like that. Then we've got the 2000s release. We got the early or mid 90s release, the movie edition with Drew Barrymore, and the French edition where it's called Charlie. Christine, paperback, or I'm sorry, not paperback, mass market and regular for sale. You can see slightly different Viking emblems on them. Spanish, mid 90s release. We've got the shiny and the non-shiny release. You can kind of see this one's kind of beat up, and the movie. Then that brings us over to Cujo first edition hardcover, and then we have the paperback, and then the mid kind of 90s or late 90s, early 2000 release. Pet Sematary hardcover from mass market. And now these two are book club editions, and the reason I have two of them is there's an error on the back of them. It says 1983 for one and 1982 for the other. And it's actually 1983 is correct. So it's kind of cool to have the 82 one. I don't think it makes it worth anything. I don't think there's like it's not like it makes it valuable or anything. I just like it in my collection because I'm a completist. Then we have the paperback for Pet Sematary, the mid-90s release. Then we get into Salem's Lot. Now this is the section that I call my Holy Trinity, where it's going to be Salem's Lot, Carrie, and The Shining. And with The Shining, I also include Dr. Sleep. So we have Salem's Lot, hardcover, book club edition, the pop culture kind of comic book looking specialty Salem's Lot edition. And I do not have the Carrie one or the Shining one for this one, but I'm always looking for them. The old school Salem's Lot with the vampire face. Then we also have this cover. And then we have, this one's one of my favorites. It's French Salem's Lot, and it's just called Salem. And then we have the different editions over the years. This is probably one of the ones next to the Dead Zone that I have the most of. And then that brings, pop figure. And then that brings us over to Carrie, where I got a couple pop figures as well. And we have the hardcover without a dust jacket. A couple of the re-releases. Here's Carrie in French. Here's the movie tie-in. And this one is a young artist book voice, like a bridge edition. Just a very bare bones minimum of the story, which it's a small story to begin with. So the fact they made it smaller is kind of interesting. Then we have, this is a book that has all three of them in it, Carrie, Salem's Lot, and The Shining. Then we have the box set. And then that brings us over here where we have Dr. Sleep, my different various Shining memorabilia, which I'm not going to really get into. The paperback Dr. Sleep, shiny, non-shiny version of The Shining. Again, top here, shiny and non-shiny version of that as well. And then the mid-2000s release. And so that's my part 2 of my bookshelf, and there'll be a couple more parts coming, so I hope you enjoyed, and everyone stay safe and keep reading.